Hi there, everybody. Larry Koch from The Brains and the host of the Brainy Marketing Show. Today, I'm doing a video on marketing segmentation, otherwise known as customer personas. And this video is going to take the format of an interview. So I was recently interviewed by host of the biggest B2B podcast in the UK. He's called Malcolm Ghallager. And I was on his show and he was just going question after question, asking me, why are people messing up their marketing segmentation? Why are people not doing it? What is the real value of doing proper marketing segmentation of your customers? You know, what's the difference between maybe the B2B audience and the B2C crowd? And what are the three key benefits that business owners and marketers like you can take away and really motivate them to do this properly? And so that's what we cover in the video. It's about 8 minutes long. And I hope it's an easier way for you to digest this really important topic. Now, if you like what I'm saying here, if you like lead generation, you want to learn more about it, you want to learn more about marketing automation, then this channel is totally dedicated to that. So all you have to do to get my latest videos is to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. I've been the founder of a marketing agency for over 6 years now and worked with some of the biggest brands. So I'm hopefully going to be able to help you for free in these videos. As ever, if you are really serious about your lead generation, you need to pick up my copy of the Leads on Tap Blueprint, which was developed by my own research and my team. And we put this together over several years. And it's a play-by-play how you can generate unlimited leads, very high quality, using this system. So the link will be in the description of this video for that. Highly recommend you pick it up. Without further ado, make sure to watch the video. Let's roll the tape.
There's a saying in PR, marketing and advertising, and it's called spray and pray. In other words, spray your marketing activity around and pray that you get a result. Strangely enough, in these restrained spending times, many businesses still do it. Many times through vanity or poor advice. The better way is to be laser focused. To do that, you need to segment your market. Now, that's not as easy as saying potential customers to the left, non-potentials to the right. Solid segmentation can help you discover brilliant potential. So I thought I'd make a video visit to find out how it all works. Come with me and visit the CEO of The Brains Marketing, Larry Koch. Nice to see you again, Larry.
Hi, Malcolm. Pleasure as always.
Please give us the lowdown on what is marketing segmentation and its value for those who do it well.
Yes. So marketing segmentation can also be known by the name of, I guess, customer personas, marketing personas. It's the way that you look at your potential prospects, potential customers out there, and subdivide them by the sort of stereotypes that you expect. So I found that generally speaking to any business owner, or especially on the sales team, they will intuitively know if you ask them, what sort of customers do you serve? And they will say, oh, we have smaller companies and they're usually concerned with this. We're trying to target bigger companies now because they're able to pay more of this, even though they're harder. And so everyone kind of intuitively knows, if you do enough conversations on the sales front, the different stereotypes and common objections sets that you get from different people. And so segmentation at its best is codifying that in an easy to remember way. And then the purpose of segmenting in this way is because these different groups or stereotypes or personas will often have different objections or question sets that you can address in content, in advertising, and you can make that different to each different segment. For a lot of companies starting out, they sometimes overcook this, and others don't do it at all to their peril. So there's a sweet spot depending on how much activity you have going on, and how many different people are involved in your sales process and so on. But at its core, it is just about having the ability to align advertising and messaging and content differently to different groups, where the idea is that you have a much greater chance of getting a sale out of them if you speak their language, or you talk their world. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess you need your existing customer base to make it work. Or how can it work for, say, a new product for a new company with no customer base?
Yeah, I think there's a level of guesstimation that goes on in the beginning. I would say if it's completely new without an existing customer base, you should target 3 to 4 segments, and this should be done through your research, through looking at competitors, talking with people who are competitors. And a lot of people that start businesses have some background in it, so they should have an intuitive sense. And once you've been on the phone to enough people, this is kind of presuming you're more on the B2B side. If you're on the B2C side, you'll have the data that shows you what people are interested in or doing on your website. You should be able to get the qualitative and quantitative data back on these segments to see how they perform relative to different ads, to different content. And that may make you think about further, segmenting. But 3 to 4 to begin with tends to be the kind of golden number, 2 to 4, 3 to 4 to get started with. If you have a customer database, that's fantastic. You can do some analysis on that. But I think the sales people or people that are involved on phone calls will have a pretty intuitive grasp of this. And and it's a good place to start.
Excellent. Right. Okay. So why do so many businesses not undertake marketing segmentation? Is it because they're too lazy, or is it too costly, or are they frightened they'll find out something they don't want to know about, such as they're targeting the wrong market?
Yeah. So that's an interesting one. I'd say, from what I've seen, I'd say most companies that aren't segmenting to some degree probably aren't really doing their marketing or certainly their digital marketing or online advertising too seriously anyway. So it may be that they, if you're going to spend 10K a month on ads, you're going to have a big incentive to make sure that those ads are being spent, really well. If you're getting started and sort of winging it with a few £100 a month, which is the way a lot of people have to start, then it may just be that it's just they're not doing best practice marketing anyway, so there's no need for them to do segmentation, just like the other steps that they may be overlooking. So I find that usually when people start getting serious about advertising, segmentation is one of the first things that pops up. I see far less companies actually advertising on a segment level. So let's say you have an ebook ad, you can run 4 different ads to 4 different segments, but it's the same ad, maybe just slight changes in ad copy. The actual piece of content or the lead magnet could be basically the same thing, but because you are advertising to each different segment, when they convert and they enter into your database, you know that they were segment 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that's really important, is even if you're not doing a huge amount of advertising right now, to get the foundation right and to do it is really important, because later on, as you start scaling up, you'll have this valuable data on what each segment has done in terms of converting into an opportunity, converting into a sale, and it's going to help you prioritize your advertising spend, which is really needed when you're an SME.
So Larry, what are the top 3 or maybe 4 mistakes that businesses make about segmenting their market?
Yeah. So I think there's unfortunately with this, there's no 100% correct way of doing it, in the sense that, some companies just have loads of different industries they target, and maybe they sell very different services into each of those different industries. So you almost have to do a sort of product segmenting, which can be very different and very exhaustive. There might be multiple different streams that you're doing. In terms of the sort of segmenting I see from B2B, where you're selling services into similar sized companies, you've got a sort of problem that you solve in general with a few different services. I'd say I see the problems being not doing it at all for a start. The second being doing it, but then not running the ads to each of those segments. So just basically running ads to everybody, and then hoping that somehow afterwards you'll segment them when you get on the phone with them or something like that. Whereas you should be doing it at the advertising level. So you actually run different versions of the same ad to each different audience. Thereby you can control that every lead that comes from segment 1, segment 2, segment 3 is recorded. So you can then follow their fate. Do they become a sale? Do they become closed lost? And that's going to help you. So if you just pay lip service and segment, but then don't update your ads to reflect that can be an issue. I think then paradoxically overcomplicating it can also be something else, when people really get overboard with trying to work out what company size of 0 to 50 is different from 50 to 70, which is different from 70 to 100. I think you need to kind of, in those scenarios, just lump things into small, these big companies, these set of industries and these set of industries, because at the end of the day, you're not concerned so much with the geography, the industry, the job titles for the sake of it. You're actually concerned with the questions or objection sets that align to those different things. So you may have multiple industries or multiple company sizes that actually have the same questions and same objections. So it's more about looking at what do people say to you when they're on the phone and segmenting via that, rather than just some arbitrary thing that looks neat, like, oh, well, let's put the CEOs in this bit and the FDs in this bit. If they're asking the same questions all the time, then they are the same thing. You would just call them management or something. And then you might have the lower down people that ask or need different information to get over the line. So that's what the purpose of segmentation is to align your ads and align your content to those segments. So to the extent that there's no difference, there's no need to create another segment. So that's what I mean by overcomplication, is it's more focusing on the wrong things to segment by. Yeah.
Okay, got you then.
Yeah.
So how at the Brains Marketing do you go about providing marketing segmentation for, say, a B2B or a B2C client? Do you have a workflow or a special process?
It's mainly done in workshops. So we like the idea of the customer persona in the work that we do. So it's about extensive workshops, usually involving the sales side of things quite a lot. There might be some analysis of the CRM data, the sales pipeline and what's gone on there, to the extent that it's possible, the data exists. There might be some analysis of that. Combining all of that, you then output that into agreed customer personas, which are clearly defined by their objections, their objectives, the common questions, which of your USPs they like the most, what information they need, their fears, their motivations as people. And you codify this in a document that everyone agrees. And then that sort of covers it. And this can be updated over time as new data comes in. But yeah, just sort of extensive workshopping and then outputting into some kind of document that everybody agrees on is the best way to go forward.
Let's leave 3 things resonating in viewers' ears about the real benefits of applying market segmentation.
Yeah. So number 1, it helps you keep very organized in your advertising. You always have ads going to the right segments. Number 2, it can help you save costs by doing that, because if you align the right ads, the right content to the right segments, they have a higher chance of becoming a customer down the line. And number 3, the data is amazing. So if you are collecting that sort of data on segmented audiences, then you know which of your audiences are better receiving messages, are better converting on ads. So you can then align your budget to reflect that. So if you can improve the effectiveness of your advertising through segmenting, it's definitely worth it. For what is a short exercise that can be done, it's worth its weight in gold.
Larry Koch of the Brains Marketing, thanks for this deeper dive interview on marketing segmentation. I trust businesses are now saying, that's what I need to do. Thank you.
I hope so. Take care.